pace right now. There he can nice fungal off on his Mutalisks. A lot of them dying, although there's a second group of Mutas coming in, starting to peck away at the Infestors. He needs to target down the ones with high energy. Oh, all those Mutalisks go down. You see the supply drop, and now Eye of Darkness has only a 10 supply lead. These Infestors throw down some more infested Terrans. That'll be able to clean up some more of these workers. We see 39 workers killed, 40, 41, 43. Oh my goodness, the worker carnage. And we reset. 22 more roaches on the way from SweetJ. He's up by 34 supply. All Eye of Darkness really has going for him is this base and this one, which have not been scouted yet. These Infestors still moving around the map, looking to see what other damage they can do. There's no detection up right now for Eye of Darkness. These 4 Zerglings could, kill all those Infestors. They don't have too much energy left. But those are just going to hide in the main base right now. Mutalisks on the counterattack, taking down the Infestation Pit again without taking too much damage. And now the Roach is going for a little bit of a counterattack. These Mutas will be able to at least whittle away their numbers, but he's going to lose a lot. More infested Terrans, this time in the main. What are they targeting down? It looks like they're getting rid of more of the workers for Eye of Darkness, so that supply just continues dropping. Now targeting down the Roach War, and that's pretty key. The Mutalisks not being controlled the best right now as the Roaches move into the natural. And Eye of Darkness in a lot of trouble now. This game has gone from entirely in his favor to entirely not in his favor. I think mostly because he's stuck with his Mutalisks, although now they're going to save him. And targeting down the spawning pool, that's the last little bit of tech that Eye of Darkness has. It looks like he should be able to get that before these Roaches die. 2-0 Mutalisks still don't do very much damage, and there's the Burrow. And now the Overseer morphing in. There's 5 Infestors still lucky over here in the corner. And Eye of Darkness has to kind of rebuild his infrastructure. Going for another base at the gold is a nice choice. There's a lot of infested Terrans coming down. Those will be able to target down. Well, they're not fast enough. But they still might get the Overseer. That would be really key to pick off, as that really does danger the Roaches and Infestors. The Mutalisk swarm still kind of poking around, looking for the units of his opponent. The Roaches, meanwhile, unburrowed, getting another Queen, getting some more workers. The infested Terrans finally go down, and he should be able to clean this up. The Infestors have moved their way into the natural expansion, and there the Roaches finally cleaned up. Eye of Darkness trails now by 19 supply, but the third base up for SweetJ, getting pretty good saturation. If we look at the worker count, it's 32 to 21. Workers killed 73 to 8. That's just a little bit lopsided. And these Infestors are still alive. Those will come into play later on. I was actually kind of watching over Eye of Darkness' shoulder as he played this game, at least for parts of it. This Mutalisk flock is still pretty dangerous. There aren't any, there are only 5 Infestors out, and they're inside of Eye of Darkness' base somewhere. There they are. They're over here. Mutalisk is going to get in. He's going to target down these Spore Crawlers, and he should be able to get this third base again, and that's a really key thing to get officially. The Queen goes down. A lot of these workers going down as well. Now trying just to microwave, and he should get able to target on this third base in pretty good time. Roach counterattack, though, from SweetJ as they head out across the map. And the third base falls again for SweetJ. Actually, all the larvae dying from the Gladeworm bounces. And now the Roach counterattack. How many Roaches are there? There's 32, with 8 more on the way. Only Mutalisks really to defend for Eye of Darkness. He's down by 60 supply. The natural going to fall again. The main's entirely dried out, but that's where his lair tech is. The spawning pool just now being remade. And the Mutalisks trying as hard as they can to defend, but they just don't do enough damage. Now that spawning pool going to go down again. This Overseer's actually scouted the Ninja expansion, so we'll see how he uses that as he goes on. The Spire going down as well, and Eye of Darkness in a really tough spot now, down by 20 supply. He'll be able to get a lot of these Roaches, though, as Mutalisks are faster than Roaches. now trying to target down the gold base. If he can get that, I would say the game is over, although it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Zergling swarming in. I'm not sure where the spawning pool is actually made. Oh, I can check on that later. There's another spire started up for Eye of Darkness. I believe the spawning pool is over here at the gold base, although I might be mistaken. So there's Mutiling right now against these couple of infestors and a whole bunch of roaches. Eye of Darkness has actually retaken the supply lead after killing off all those roaches, which is really surprising. These infestors now splitting up, 3 of them here, lobbing the infested Terrans into his opponent's base, and a lot of these workers are going to go down. I'm just going to bring up the workers killed, because it's getting ridiculous at this point. The counterattack, though, from the Mutalisks, able to take down the 3rd base again, targeting down that Spore Crawler just to save him some time later. The rest of these drones are going to go down. The Infestor counterattack still going well. These 3 infested Terrans should be able to target down a couple of these. Oh, the Infestor's getting caught off guard. 2 of them go down. They had full energy. This base is gone, though. Full radar, as are all workers. His only fight right now is going on at the gold base. He's going to hide this base over here. The Mutalisks now trying to get in, targeting down Spore Crawlers, targeting down whatever they can. There's a Queen and 2 more Spore Crawlers there, although that one's not burrowed, so that's not such a big deal. There's a big fungal growth going down on these Mutalisks, and they're all going to go down. Watch the supply go down as they pop. So now SweetJ up by 7 supply. His only mining right now is right here at his natural expansion. It's really dry, although he has 1,700 minerals, so he'll be able to be fine. A couple of infestors burrowed over here at the gold base again. And both players still with a lifeline in this game. Eye of Darkness now going for the hive, which I think is an important step in this game. A little bit of a roach counterattack now by SweetJ. A couple of these roaches being cleaned up, although the rest of them doing a lot of damage. If we look at the army right now for Eye of Darkness, it's only 6 Mutalisks. And these roaches going to have their way with this base. The Zerglings over here trying to do what they can. Infested Terrans over here at the gold. That'll actually be cleaned up by Eye of Darkness's Zerglings. These roaches are the real problem. In come the Mutalisks. Those will be able to finally deal with it. And if you haven't gotten the feeling yet, this is a ridiculous game. The armies right now, 3 roaches, 11 infestors for SweetJ, 6 Mutalisks, 1 infestor, 19 Zerglings for Eye of Darkness. Of course, there's no Overseer, no Spore Crawler, so these infestors can just shark mode their way to victory. The spawning pool and spire right now are off creep for Eye of Darkness, so those are going to go down. His hive's finished, and we'll see what he wants to do. If he wants to go for Ultralisks, he still needs mining right now. And my voice is getting really tired. If we look at the worker count, we see it's 15 drones to 10. We are at the 32-minute mark of this game. These infestors are waiting around. They actually don't need to do anything to cause the spawning pool and the spire to die. So after that goes down, there will be no tech left for Eye of Darkness. He has an infestation pit and 2 evolution chambers that he actually hasn't used since the very beginning of the game. There's 1 infestor as well headed out to the middle of the map. A couple of infested Terrans being thrown out by SweetJ and not doing too much damage. If we actually look at the workers killed, though, it's 126 to 36. And more of them are going to fall right now. And will the base go down? This is really key. I think it'll go down. These infested Terrans last forever, basically. 30 seconds. Base goes down. And Eye of Darkness now is down to 2 bases, although only one of them's mining anything. The Mutalisks going for a counterattack, making sure his opponent doesn't have a 3rd, and he still doesn't. He's only mining off of 3 dried out mineral patches in his main and 1 gas geyser. The rest of the drone's actually transferring down, and he's actually not mining that much gas. There's 1 geyser harvesting, and there's one with one thing in it. And these Mutalisks actually have exhausted the energy of these infestors, so they're going to get away. There are 7 of them left. That's 6. There's a huge group of infestors in the middle of the map. Eye of Darkness actually morphing an Overseer directly above him. I'm not sure if that was scouted or if that's just kind of where he wants it. These infestors trying to move in. Zerglings actually can be a pain for them. A lot of infested Terrans coming out. That should be able to clean this up, but the infestor count is so low now. And the infested Terrans moving into the gold base. That's going to go down as well. And Eye of Darkness now down to 1 base. SweetJ has 2, only one of them's mining. He's now finally planting down that 3rd base. And the units tab. Our best friend in this game. 30 drones to 22 in favor of SweetJ. 9 infestors is his entire army. Most of them are located here, and they're actually being cleaned up. The rest of them are over here, so now he's down to 4. It's just these 4 infestors and 2 queens against 6 mutalisks, which are flying through the middle of the map with an overseer en route, and 1 infestor that I actually don't know where he is. The spawning pool is about to die, which is unfortunate. And these mutalisks actually going for another little counterattack, trying to target down this 3rd base. The infestors are here, and there's the fungal that should be able to get rid of the rest of them. Still 1 remaining. And it's going to get away. So the 1 Zergling, or the 1 Mutalisk still left for Eye of Darkness. There was an Overseer that got injured, it looked like, by SweetJ, so he scouted his opponent. If we look at the view, yeah, SweetJ is aware of the space. He's running around with this small group of Zerglings. As soon as the spawning pool dies, the Broodling's actually doing a lot of damage. That was kind of the anti-timing to check for that from SweetJ, but really he's looking for the rest of his opponent's base, which does happen to be up here. The hive is done. He still has the infestation pit. He's got 1 infestor. I actually found it. There it is. And there's this base here. The Zerglings headed up. There's a couple of spine crawlers and a spore crawler here, so the Zerglings should be defended, although this is going to do more damage to the drone count of Eye of Darkness. The Zerglings all do go down. The 1 Mutalisk arrived, like, hey, I'm here to help. A couple of Zerglings have finished up. That's not the right button. This one is the one I want. Workers killed 143 to 36 now. I don't have much more to say about that. Recapping the army, it's 3 infestors, which are right here, shark moding across the map. There's 5 more that just popped, against 5 Zerglings, an infestor, and a Mutalisk from Eye of Darkness. And if we look, I mean, there's buildings everywhere. These infestors headed up. There's 1 Ultralisk on the way. The Ultralisk Cavern has finished up. He doesn't have very good upgrades. I believe it's only 1-1 right now. But 1 Ultralisk on the way from Eye of Darkness. The important bit of tech right now in the game. SweetJ still has such a huge bank and still sitting on layer tech, sitting on basically pure infestors. A lot of infested Terrans being lobbed in that shouldn't do too much damage, although these are upgraded at 1-0. Targeting down what they can. A little bit of a wasted fungal growth there from Eye of Darkness, but he needs to hold on to this base at all costs, and he actually keeps a hold of everything. I'm not sure if his Ultralisk was spotted, but now the infestors moving down, shark moding into the new natural expansion. I don't even know what number base this is at this point. More Zerglings out for SweetJ, and he's going to try and take down the rocks at the gold base. He's just now kind of getting saturated over at his 3rd. He actually isn't harvesting too much gas anywhere, which is kind of interesting. More and more Zerglings on the way, and SweetJ trying to go for Deathblow. He's actually getting a Baneling nest. I have no idea where it is. There's so much creep. There's the Baneling nest. I actually found it. And the Zergling counterattack now with from Eye of Darkness is 2 Ultralisks to support his health. And those are going to be really key. Ultralisks are so good against Zerglings. 1-1 Ultralisks against a whole bunch of Zerglings, and the Ultras win. 19 kills on Assassin Ultralisk, 14 on Ravager Ultralisk, and he's going to go in the back door with his 2 Ultralisks and try and kill the 3rd base again. These 3 infestors are still active for SweetJ. We actually see the supplies, 5 supply lead right now for SweetJ. 2 more Ultras in production for Eye of Darkness. Not hitting his injects particularly well, but doesn't have enough minerals to spend anyway. And there's the infested Terrans lobbing in to that base. The Zerglings going around killing extractors now. The Ultralisks, meanwhile, have gotten in to the 3rd base of SweetJ, targeting down what they can, taking down a couple of workers, a lot of infested Terrans on the way, and Darkness just going to run away. That's perfectly viable. In 30 seconds, all that energy goes for nothing. Infested Terran's still alive. They're not going to be able to get that